Everybody, this is Kristen and this is the Queen City Yarn Dying to Knit podcast. This is episode 14. I have some notes. So anyway, this is just a podcast about knitting and yarn dyeing and pretty much just my adventures in making things. If you're new, thanks for checking me out. If you're coming back, thanks for coming back for more. So I'm Kristen. I'm a knitter and independent yarn dyer with my friend Janice. We run Queen City Yarn, and you can find out about me and my projects on Ravelry as Kristen, Christen, and then I'm on Instagram as Kristen C and Queen City Yarn, and then you can find all of the Queen City Yarn at queencityyarn.com. We also have a podcast group / business group on Ravelry, which is the Queen City Yarn group in the forums. So I hope everybody had a chance to watch the little mini episode that Janice and I recorded last week, or the week before last, where we announced our new yarn line, which we're so excited about, the Berry Hill fingering. We have worked with a local mill who has locally sourced merino and alpaca, and we have this beautiful 80% merino, 20% alpaca fingering weight yarn blend, not superwash. It's gorgeous. We're so excited about it. So if you didn't watch the last episode, spoiler alert, that's the big announcement. We have worked with EchoView Fibre Mill here in the Carolinas to design and have this exclusive yarn line spun. So we're so excited. We're working with some designers for some patterns. I have a pattern that I just designed that I actually have a call for testers out right now, currently being called the Berry Hill hat, but I need name suggestions. So anyway, working on that. I'll show that in the FOs, which is coming up. Actually, that's the only FO I have to show today. So yeah, if you're in the area and you want to see and squish the new yarn in person, come and check me out on Worldwide Knit and Public Day at Black Mountain Yarn Shop, where I will be hosting or having a pop-up show for Queen City Yarn. I'm so excited to be in their new space. Donna and Dawn have a new space in Black Mountain. And yeah, I'll be there with all the Berry Hill fingering. I'm also bringing our Noda sock, which is our general 75-25 superwash merino nylon fingering weight yarn. And also some of our Biddleville DK, which is 100% superwash merino DK weight. Really nice yarn. So anyway, if you're going to be in the area, come and see me, because that would be awesome. And you can see our new yarn and squish it. Okay, so I have notes because, yeah. So let's start with a faux show. I'm going to talk about one finished object, a few works in progress today. I'm going to chat a little bit about Marilyn Wool, because I went and did that since the last time I podcasted. So I'm going to show you what I brought back home with me, most of it anyway. There's a couple of things I had to leave with my mom because I was afraid they would get broken in transit, because I did fly up. And so anyway, I'll talk about Marilyn Wool at the end and show my haul. And so anyway, let's chat about knitting. The only finished object I have is my new design. This currently is being called the Berry Hill hat, but I'm trying to figure out what I actually want to call the hat pattern. So it is a fingering weight colorwork hat. I'm so excited with how the crown worked out. Always like the hardest but most fun part of a hat design is figuring out just how you want the crown to work. So this is the adult medium. and it's just a tad slouchy, but I really like that with this design. So, yay! I'm digging it. I kind of want to put a pom-pom on it, but I want to get photos of the crown shaping first. So this is it. And like I said, I'm looking for testers now. I have a call on Instagram for testers. I've had a few people who are testing, and we're not offering Berry Hill for sale yet. Its official release is going to be at the Black Mountain Yarn Shop show on Worldwide Knit and Public Day. But if you want to test this hat, we are letting testers get their hands on this yarn for testing. So if you just can't wait and you want to test knit a hat, send us an email at queencityyarn@gmail.com, and we will hook you up with some Berry Hill and my new Berry Hill hat pattern to test knit. So that's the only finished object. All right, lots of things on the needles though. Well, not tons, but quite a few, considering how busy we've been in the dye studio. Janice and I have been really trying to get all the dyeing done before the kids get done school. We have a lot of shows coming up this summer, so we spent quite a bit of time planning and deciding what we're bringing to each show, how much of it to bring, and all that good stuff. And then we ordered so much yarn and have been just dyeing and twisting and tagging and dyeing and twisting and tagging yarn. So we have so much fun stuff for y'all this summer, whether you're going to be at Black Mountain, whether you're going to shop online via the website. There's quite a few shops who've got, full orders of yarn, and also at ZK. Janice is going to be at ZK at the Zombie Knit Apocalypse at the end of June. And yeah, there's other things coming up too. So check the website, because we have listed all the places we're going to be, where you can come see us in person. But yes, so we've just been dyeing all the yarn. So there hasn't been so much time for knitting except at night, finally then, when we sit down. So in my knitting world, I'm going to show you what I've been working on. So first up are my purse socks, which currently are in this chicken boots bag. I really don't know how much I've knit on these since the last time we chatted. I don't know that I've knit on them very much at all. It's almost toe time. This is sock number 1. I really haven't knit on these much at all, but yeah. So these are leftovers from my grain line cowl. So I have Deep Eddy, which is the main color I'm using. This here is Poppy, and this little cuff is Showgirls. And I'm going to do just Peachy for the toe. So these are all Queen City colorways. This is going to be the toe. I think I literally just need to knit the toe, which is why I've kind of stalled out, because I need to take them out of the purse and at least start the toe. Measure and make sure the toe will be in the right spot, and then start the toe. So that's these. Hopefully next time when I show them, I'll have at least one sock done and the second sock cast on. All right, so that's my in the purse socks. Outside with the kids socks has been it's in this pink waffle bag, which I really like for walking around outside. My yarn is being held in, what is she calling them? All I can think of is all of the funny names that I would call this. This yarn ball holder. That's not what it's called. And all of the inappropriate funny things are going through my mind, and I can't think of what my friend Jenny actually does call these. Maybe it's like a yarn sock or something not inappropriate. But my immature mind goes to all of the inappropriate ways that you could talk about holding balls of yarn in something. So anyway, I will not say what it's called since I don't know for sure. But in this awesome unicorn with crowns and neon stars and hearts yarn ball holder, I have some Kirby Warby yarn. And this is the RBF Reboot colorway. So I knit a pair of these for my mom and gave them to her for Mother's Day. So I'm knitting myself a pair as well. So this is the first sock is done. So I'm using the Kirby Warby self-striping. I did a heel flap and double gusset heel. And the heel flap and heel turn, I just used some Knit Picks Essential Solids in black. And I worked down the foot and I have a toe and it's actually closed up. The ends are not woven in, but that sock is done. And I cast on the cuff of the second sock and I'm not too far from, it looks like it's like almost time to switch to stockinette for a couple of stripes. It might be time to switch to stockinette now. So that's what's been walking around with me outside with the kids while they're playing. Speaking of the kids, on Sunday was Mother's Day, so happy Mother's Day to all the moms of kids or animals or just anybody who helps to raise anybody else. Happy Mother's Day to you. Happy day to celebrate helping other people grow up to be good people and all that good stuff. Anyway, on Sunday, we're outside playing. We had a beautiful day here in South Carolina, just south of Charlotte. And so the kids are playing outside. And my husband's like, I think they could probably ride their bikes without training wheels. And I'm like, I don't know. I think Caitlin probably could. I don't know about Ryan because he's like almost 5. I don't know. But yeah, in like 5 minutes, he had taken the training wheels off and both kids are like zipping around the circle with no training wheels. Just like zipping around, no training wheels. Just completely fine. It was pretty amazing. So anyway, that's new and exciting for walking around outside, watching them ride bikes with no training wheels. So, just a little aside in my mom life. What else do I have here? Okay, I have only 2 more projects to talk about. So this one is living in my Jan B. Smiley bag that she did made these bags as part of a collaboration with us with our King Neptune colorway for Virginia Beach Yarn Getaway a few getaways ago. Living in this bag is my Punky Power cowl. This is Janice's one of her new designs for this spring. She's just designed this. She's in a brioche place right now. Brioche with a twist kind of place. She just designed this t-shirt pattern and it's got brioche at the neckline and just on the it's so pretty. I'm like trying to decide what colors I'm going to use when I get to make one. But anyway, this is her Punky Power cowl and I'm in the home stretch. I've got about this much of this to do again. And I've just started it. So it's kind of been on the back burner because of the next project, because of the hat that I designed, and then the next project that I'm going to show you. But I really love it, and I'm into the groove with it. I can pick it up and knit on it without having to look at the pattern or anything anymore. And the colorways that I'm using are Berry Stomp, which is the tonal, and then the hand-painted colorway is Rosetta. So I'm really loving the way it's turning out. And it's super, super squishy. So I just need to finish that up. But because of this next project, in the evenings, I have not been working on pretty much anything but this. So this is living in a new bag from my friend Jenny of the Kitchen Counter Crafter, Java Jenny. And she's making these new bags. She's calling it the Coffee Traveler because her and I were on the same thing. She loves coffee. All of her bags are named after something coffee. And so that just kind of speaks to me just to begin with. And then, sorry, my watch is like buzzing. Anyway, so she posted that she was making these bags. Here's her little tag is on here. She was making these bags and I was like, ooh, I want to try one. And she took me up on it. And also some other of our friends too, she took us up on it and was like, okay, test these bags. It's like, okay, awesome. Yes, send me a bag. So it's really cute. I think it's called like a bento style. So it's kind of like got these like pointy edges, and so you can like do a little tie up dealy, and then you can hold it over your wrist and knit out of it, which is awesome. Or this sweater that I'm working on has a lot of colors, so it easily holds the sweater. And then all the yarn, and so I've been like sitting it down on the couch, flopping these on the side and just knitting right out of it. So this sweater is called the Ray. It's R-A-I. So I think it's Ray, but I don't know for sure if that's how you pronounce it. It's by Lena Homila. Again, I don't know if I'm pronouncing that right, but this Ray, I think, by Leni Homila. I don't know. It's a circular yoke sweater, and I'm totally in love with it. I'm knitting it in our Berry Hill fingering. I'm just a little bit excited about this yarn. Let me tell you what, the hand on this yarn, oh my gosh, it feels so good, and it's so soft, and it's squishy and springy, and it's everything that I wanted it to be. So I am knitting this sweater, and I was having such a hard time deciding, what am I going to knit? What color am I going to? Because I mean, as soon as we got it dyed, I'm like, okay, I'm starting something. Aside from this hat, I'm starting something right now. So I was having a hard time deciding which color I wanted to use, because I wanted to use them all. And so I picked this sweater that pretty much means I get to use most of them. So I have 5 coordinating colors, and then the gray, which I think only 2 of the colors we've decided on names for, because we had to tweak all the recipes for this yarn base. So we're using colors that are similar to colors that we offer in our, like regular yarns that we've been offering, our Biddleville DK and our Noda sock and all. So those yarns, each base takes color just a little bit differently, but the colors are pretty true across those bases. You can say, oh, whatever base you see it on, oh, that's Berry Stomp. Well, on this base, because the yarn is not superwash, so it takes the dye a little differently. And then the alpaca is like a brown, tan alpaca. Some of it is. And so that gives the yarn, I don't have an undyed skein with me over here. It gives the yarn kind of a tan instead of being like that natural white color to start with. So it takes the colors a little differently. So the colors that I'm using are, this gray is going to be called Sweatshirt. I think we definitely decided that that's what that color is going to be called. And then this is a Berry Stomp-esque color, which we haven't decided completely on a name. So this sweater, it's really nice. You've got some short rows in the back to raise the back of the neck up. And then it's just a circular yoke. So you're doing increases all the way around. So, kind of Berry Stomp-ish. And then avocado toast-ish. And then eggplant-ish. So you can kind of see, I mean, it's the same color, but it just looks, it's looking a little more heathered, or I don't know. We've had to change the recipes, and we're going to rename them on this base, I believe, because we don't want someone to fall in love with a color and say, okay, I want that color on Berry Hill, and then get it and not be happy with it. So we're going to name them their own things. So that's eggplant and ish. And then this one is going to be called Midnight. And then this one, I think this one's going to be called Denim. That's a new one that we didn't have on our other bases. So these are all of my, this is the main color, and these are all of my pops of color for the stripes. So I'm really loving this sweater. I actually even took the time to go and weave in the ends for all but the last 2 stripes in the body. So I think I have at least one more stripe. So there will at least be another berry stomp-ish stripe. There may be another green one at the bottom too. I need to measure to see how long, and then it's just sleeves. So I'm totally loving it. I think that if I had more, if I didn't want to use all the colors, you would definitely have enough yarn to choose one color for the stripes. I would have loved, I would have liked, I think, this sweater just as much if I had just used the berry stomp or the denim, really, or any of them for the stripes. But I wanted to use all of them. I just wanted a skein of all of the colors to play with. And so anyway, I'm using almost all the colors. We're offering, including the undyed naked, that's going to be called naked. We are offering 10, a palette of 10 plus the undyed for our first offering of this yarn. And so I wanted all of them. And I settled on 6 for this sweater. And then I also am using the teal one that's like our mermaid colorway here. So I've broken into a lot. I have no restraint whatsoever. I want all of it. I want to knit all of it. I've picked like 4 more sweaters to knit with this yarn already because I have so much time. But now that I'm done dyeing, I'm still working. I still have quite a bit of twisting and labeling, and then Janice and I have a huge meeting next week where we're gonna make the kits and make the, boxes of yarn that's going all the different places so that we have it all together. Okay. But there's going to be knitting time this summer. So I'm super excited. I can't wait to knit all of the things. We have so much pattern support for this Berry Hill that's going to be ready when the yarn launches. We're doing kind of a smaller launch at Black Mountain, which I think is going to be amazing because this yarn is from up around there. And then at ZK, there's going to be a ton of pattern support. We are worked with some of the designers that are featured at the Zombie Knitpocalypse, and they're designing some really beautiful things. We've got 2 sweaters being designed, an accessory set. My hat design will be ready for Black Mountain. So it's really exciting. And this yarn is also very well suited for a lot of patterns that I already had in my queue. One of the, we're having some samples made by some of our sample knitters. And one of them is our friend Diana is knitting the new Caitlin Hunter sweater, like t-shirt sweater from her like Italy series. It's so pretty. And this yarn is perfectly suited in terms of like subbing out what the pattern actually calls for. So it's really cool. There's so many knitting plans with this new yarn. So I think that's all. So I'm gonna knit while I tell you some stuff. So you'll notice that I haven't showed a finished ornament for May. That's because there's not one yet. It's only the 16th. Today's Thursday, the 16th of May. So there's time. There's still like 15 days to knit an ornament. And so I need to really just make myself put this down and spend an hour or something and knit just a little something for the tree so that I can stay on track for doing my ornaments each month. So I'm not going to do a little sock this time. I may do one of those little hats or a little sweater or something. So I haven't decided what yet, but I need to just do that. I'm planning on doing that soon. Maybe tomorrow I'll cast it on. So that's why I didn't show you an ornament, finished or in progress, because there's currently not one. But thanks for everybody who's like playing along with that. If you are, I'd love to see them. I was thinking maybe I need to take a picture of all the ones that I've made so far to kind of inspire myself, look at them and inspire myself on keeping going, because we're almost halfway there. I mean, if I do May and June, then I'll officially have done it for half of a year. So yay for stick-to-itiveness, right? Okay, so that's pretty much it, I think. So I'll talk about Marilyn Wool for a few minutes. So for my birthday, my husband got me plane tickets and sent me without kids up to Marilyn Wool for the weekend, and I had such a blast. Marilyn Wool is, if you don't know, it's an amazing festival in Howard County, Maryland. It's not too far from Baltimore, and my mom and I have been going to the festival almost every year since 2007, maybe. When I lived up in Philly, I would drive down, and my mom would drive over, and we would meet up and spend a girls' weekend to celebrate Mother's Day and my birthday, which is right after Mother's Day. And so we would just make it a girls' like mom and daughter weekend celebration and get a hotel room and just have fun at the festival and go to outlet shopping and just knit and drink coffee and wine and eat a Cracker Barrel. So there's only been a few years that we've missed going. That's like when we moved down here. The year that we moved like right before Marilyn Wool, so we didn't get to do it that year. And then the year my son was born, so there's a couple of years I didn't get to go. But this year I went, and it was so nice just to be able to like hop on an airplane and fly up. And I met my mom. She picked me up in Baltimore. And this year, instead of getting a hotel room, we actually stayed with my brother and his wife. They have a house in Baltimore. And so we got to go stay with them, which was really cool because I don't get to hang out with them that much since we're so far away from each other. And so that was really a nice perk of staying like right there with them. So we got to hang out with them. We got to go out for dinner, and we went out to this amazing brunch on Sunday, and it was so much fun. So Mom and I got up super early on Saturday and went to the festival. We got there. We were in line. We had prepaid our tickets and got right in and made a beeline to Jenny the Potter. And I did get a mug this year, and I got one for Janice too. But I left those in Maryland with my mom because I didn't want to fly with them. I was so afraid they were going to break. Even in my suitcase, even with the yarn I had for padding, I would have been heartbroken if I had broken one of those mugs. So I left those with Mom, and she's going to bring them when she comes down to visit, or I'll grab them when the kids and I go visit. So we beelined to Jenny the Potter. We got our mugs. And then we just started walking around and seeing all the things. And there was so much beautiful yarn. There were some new vendors there. There were, all of my favorite vendors were there too. And I practiced quite a bit of restraint this year. In the past, I have had to make multiple trips to the car to unload heavy bags of yarn. And I did a better job of, I think, planning this year for what I was going to buy. And just restraint for not like taking out the credit card and buying everything I saw that I wanted, because let's be honest, it wouldn't have fit in my suitcase and it would have been so much because there's so many beautiful things there. I did get to do a little bit of shopping for friends, like for Janice. I did a little shopping for her, so that was fun to get things to that like weren't necessarily on my list, but they were on somebody else's list. So I got to surprise her with a couple things, or bring back a couple things for her. But anyway, we just had an all around great time. We got there early. We got got our mugs. And then the next place that we went to was Loop. Loop Fibre Studio. And she's the one who does the bullseye fiber bumps, which I have one of those that I bought back. It's been a while, and I haven't spun it yet because I want it to be really good when I spin it, and I just don't spin very often. So I'm not feeling like it would be really good. Anyway, this yarn I bought. So I bought a sweater quantity of this colorway, this is the worsted, and this is the inverted colorway yarn. This one's called Once, and this one's called For All. So it is inverted colorway. So this one's got more of like the tealy blue, which is showing up really blue on the screen here. But it's more of like a turquoisey tealy blue. And then this one has more black. So she had one hanging in her booth, a weekender sweater, where the body was knit all of one, and then the ribbing that's on the shoulders was knit with the inverted colorway of the yarn. And also a new friend that I met up at Do You Knit it was maybe this colorway. I think her body was this, and then the shoulders were the lighter one. And I just thought it looked so pretty. And I don't know if I'll make another weekender. I love that sweater so much. I've got two. But I bought enough that I could make it using this as the color for the shoulders. But I bought like the extra skein of this. That way if I wanted to make an all one color sweater, I could. But I just thought these were so cool. I've seen other podcasters show yarn, that they show this yarn, and I just think it's such a neat yarn. I love when people make things that are, like just them. I just think this is the coolest thing ever. So Mom and I both bought sweater quantities at Loop. And I can't think of the name of the sweater that she's going to make. But it's going to be really pretty. She bought like a purpley one. Gorgeous. All right, what else did I buy at Marilyn Wool? I bought this skein of Midian color. And so this is called Acid Rainbow. Acid Rainbow on her hardcore sock. And so this dyer is one that I go and I get yarn from her every year at Marilyn Wool. I think her colorways are absolutely beautiful. One of my absolute favorite pairs of socks I knit in her Supernova colorway. And I knit a pair of socks, full pair, like tall mid-calf socks, and then I use the rest to like knit most of a pair of Rose City rollers because I just love that colorway so much. But her speckles are just like crazy, crazy gorgeous. She inspires me so much with dyeing. This all over amazing speckleness like makes my heart totally sing. Look at that pop of pink. So this was a colorway that was dyed. It looked like the same technique as that Supernova colorway that I love so much. So I'm going to make a pair of socks out of these. I think I'm going to make myself shorty socks first out of this. So I bought that at Marilyn Wool. And then I bought a t-shirt from Matterroot when I bought Janice's bag. And what else did I buy? I feel like this is not all of it. I don't think I was that restrained, but I don't know. I think I did pretty good. Okay, so I bought the sweater quantity and the skein of sock yarn at Marilyn Wool. And then we went to the Knot House, which is in Frederick, Maryland. So they had an indie dyer pop-up event, which was really cool. So the Knot House it's an old house set up, not like a store, big open store. So it's like got rooms. And so each dyer had like a corner of the room or like a whole wall of the room. And there were 3 different rooms and a hallway. And so there was lots of dyers there. It was really neat. A lot that I hadn't seen before. So the first skein that I picked up there is by Aslan, which is a yarn that I've not seen in person before. It is an indie dyed yarn out of Ireland. And this one is actually, it's called Knot House. So I guess this was the colorway that she designed as an event exclusive or as a new release for the event, but it is just absolutely gorgeous. So I'm thinking socks for this too. Like that'd just be so perfect with jeans. But I don't know. I just super love it. So I bought this colorway, and then my friend Ryan, who I finally got to meet at Marilyn Wool. So we've been chatting, her and I, via Messenger, text or whatever, since Janice and her met in Virginia Beach. And so it was so cool to actually get to meet her in person. So I got to give her a big hug at Marilyn Wool. And then she totally followed me to the Knot House. Just kidding. But we ended up buying the same colorway because I showed her what I bought and she was like, wait, what is that? And I was like, it's right there. You better get some. So she got the same colorway. So I don't know what she's going to make. But maybe we'll be twinsies with something. Isn't it pretty? So I got that. And then the other thing I got at the Knot House was this Julie Aslan Fino in the Paprika colorway. So I have never used Julie Aslan before, but I have seen so many people rave about it via podcasts and that kind of stuff. So when I saw it, I was like, ooh, I felt it. Oh my goodness, I've got to get this. So this colorway just really spoke to me. It's called Paprika. I'm going to knit a sweater with it. I had a store-bought sweater that was about this color when I was working years and years and years ago. And I wore it so much. The color, I mean, it looks good. I think I've got a little bit of color from dyeing out in the sun this week. But it looks really good. This colorway looks good on me like pretty much all year round. It's one that looks really good in the wintertime too, when I'm a little more washed out, or some colors can wash me out more in the winter. So I'm super excited about this. And this yarn is a 75% merino, 15% cashmere, 10% silk. So yeah, you better believe when I felt it, I was like, oh, this is what they're talking about. This is amazing. And the color is beautiful. The depth of color is just absolutely gorgeous. And the silk and the cashmere, it just makes this yarn just glow. It's absolutely beautiful. So I got 3 skeins of that, and I'm going to knit a sweater with that. So that's all the yarn that I bought. Like I said, I did have a birthday. And Mom had already gotten me a birthday present. She gifted me a subscription to the Jenny the Potter mug club. Well, she got a double subscription, so every time she gets 2, so she gives one to me. So that was part of my birthday present. So I thought I was like done. She had birthdayed me already, and I was very happy with that. But then I get to Marilyn Sheep, or get for our weekend, and my sister-in-law's birthday is the day before mine. So we gave her birthday gifts, and Mom was like, oh, here you go. And she had also gotten me a birthday gift, and I was like, what are you doing? But I'm happy with it. I'm not going to return it for not at all. So she got me the Fringe town bag, which I've been using some, and I really like it. It's nice for me to throw all my work stuff in there, and then a project, and to be able to go sit on the porch and knit while the kids are riding bikes or scooters or something, or to bring upstairs or downstairs if I'm working in my office or the living room. So she got me that bag, which I absolutely love. And then she got me this yarn. So I'm wearing my Tegna today, which I showed it not on my body last time. This is what I wore to Marilyn Sheep and Wool. It's a Caitlin Hunter pattern. And so my mom actually knit one too. And she used this yarn, which is Ella Rae Rustic Silk. It's really, really pretty. So she actually used this colorway. So she gave me the little bit that was left of hers and 2 skeins. So I have enough to knit a summer top. Her Tegna is so pretty. It's a little lighter than mine, because the silk doesn't bloom as much as our Noda sock does, which is what I used for mine. But the drape on hers was just beautiful. And while I can't see myself knitting another Tegna, even though I love it, I just don't think it's a sweater that I want two of. I'm on the lookout for a fingering weight, like a very light fingering weight, summer top to knit out of this. So I'm really excited. So this will be my little swatch ball. And then I have 2 skeins of it, and it's really, really pretty. It's 437 yards, 100% silk, 200 grams. Isn't it pretty? But if you want to see what it looks like knitted up, there's a picture of Mom and I on my Instagram at Marilyn Wool, both of us wearing our Tegnas. And she's JFM on Ravelry, I think, and I think she's got pictures of it there. And then, okay, there's one more thing I wanted to show. So, my friend Alexis and I, so she wanted to learn how to dye, not because she wants to start a business, just because she wanted to see what it was about and what I did to make what Janice and I and all the other dyers do to make the color go on the yarn. And so she asked me if some Saturday or something we could get together and dye. So I was like, yeah, that sounds like fun. So it took a while to get it scheduled, but we finally did. And she dyed a couple skeins of fingering weight yarn and a couple skeins of DK weight yarn. And she gifted one to her mom for Mother's Day, which is why I haven't shown it on the podcast yet. But I also took a skein of it. And so she sent me an inspiration picture for the color that she wanted to dye. And so I just picked some of my dyes and brought them over because we did this at her house. And this is what she dyed. I didn't dye this. I told her some of the techniques that I used to put the color onto the yarn. But pretty much once the yarn was in the pan, she picked the colors and she put them on there. And isn't it so pretty? I just love it so much. It's obviously unnamed. It was just fun with Alexis. And she gifted her mom a skein of it for Mother's Day. And then she's got some, I think she's using for hat or something. Or mitts maybe, I don't know. But so she's got, and I got one. And I'm so excited. I'm thinking socks. I don't know why I'm thinking socks so much right now, but yet I haven't been getting my socks done that often. But I want to cast on I want to fill up all of my sock project bags with new sock projects and just knit all the socks everywhere. I do need to rescatter them throughout the house since summer is coming up. I'm going to need some pool socks. Oh, that's one thing I bought, but I don't have it with me. I bought this really cute from, what's the name of that place? 3 Bags Full was the bag maker. And I bought this, super safety orange waxed canvas little sock pouch. So that's one thing. And that's going to be my pool knitting because the kids are done with swim lessons just about, and they are good swimmers. And so we're going to be going to the pool. And I might actually get to knit a little bit because they can swim really good now. I won't have to be playing all the things in the, super shallow end because they'll be swimming, so I can sit on the side of the pool and watch them and knit on a pair of socks maybe. So we'll see. But anyway, I think that's all I have for today. Not a ton of knitting, but some fun haul stuff and Marilyn Wool stuff. And yeah, as far as Queen City Yarn chat goes, sign up for our newsletter if you want to keep up to date on the happenings of Queen City. I try and get a couple out a month. Sometimes it's 1, sometimes it's 3. It's just not, I won't bombard you, and you can unsubscribe at any time, but that would tell you where we're going to be, what we're going to be doing, new colorways, new yarns, new patterns that we've designed or that feature our yarn, that kind of stuff. So you can sign up for our newsletter at queencityyarn.com. Subscribe on YouTube keep following along with my Fibre journey. And sometimes Janice. So I'll see when I can try and get her back on the podcast, but it's going to be a minute probably. She's getting ready for a fun adventure. And then we've got some fun stuff this summer. So Black Mountain Worldwide Knit and Public Day is June the 8th, Saturday, June the 8th, and I'll be at Black Mountain Yarn Shop with all the yarn. And then June the, I didn't write it down, 22nd or 24th maybe, is the Zombie Knit Apocalypse in Rochester, Minnesota. And Janice will be there vending Queen City yarn, but she's going to be at the retreat too. So I think that's like a whole weekend or maybe a long weekend thing. She's going to be doing that. And then, yeah, so that's what's coming up. There's more after that, but that's all I have written down on the notes page. So we're going to end with that. Until next time, I hope you have some fun knitting on something. And if you're doing the Christmas ornaments thing, like, show them to me, inspire me, keep me going. Let's help each other. And yeah, until next time, happy knitting.